I'm just like, oh my god, no way! This is such a good deal. I want this car for 11,900, and it only had done 30,000 Ks, which is crazy cheap for a second-hand car here in New Zealand. I want it, I'll take it. And then he was like, okay, not sure I want to actually sell it. No way! Don't do this to me now. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Sean, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you a story about how I almost lost out on this insane deal, but I used this one strategy to help get the deal over the line. If that sounds like something you're interested in, definitely stick around and you might learn a thing or two. A few years ago I came across this Mazda MPS 2008, I think it was. So it's a 2.3 litre manual turbo. Really quick cars, really awesome cars, and really fast for such a small car. I joined a few different Facebook groups for Mazdas. I'm always looking for cheap Excelas and MPSs to flick off, and that's definitely one of my secrets I teach in one of my other videos, is to join the car Facebook groups. You definitely find a lot of good deals there, and you come across sellers who actually aren't even thinking about selling yet, but if you put a post up, you might find someone that's even just had the thought of selling and hasn't actually listed it on the market yet. You can actually get deals off market through these Facebook groups. This guy was in Auckland. He listed his Mazda MPS for sale. I think he only had it on for 11,900, and it only had done 30,000 Ks, which is crazy cheap for a second-hand car here in New Zealand. So 30,000 Ks, only 2008, yeah, crazy low Ks and crazy cheap for something like that. So yeah, I mean, there was a ton of comments on the listing on Facebook group, and I was like, holy shit, this is a damn good deal. I want to get on this one. So I messaged him, organized, hey look, I'm keen, I want this car, I want to come up tomorrow, can I have a look at it? And he said, yep, I'm not 100% sure on selling. Yeah. Okay. So he said, yeah, come have a look. I was like, all right, keen. I'm like, you know, for a deal like this, I'll take the risk. I'll go up there, I'll have a look at it, and hopefully, you know, I can work my magic and get this deal over the line. So I went up there, I took my ute and car transporter trailer up there. I went and had a look at it, and it was in really good condition. Really nice car, well looked after. I think, yeah, he was the first New Zealand owner. So I took it for a spin, and it went pretty good. It went well, it boosted like it should, and I'm like, shit, this is a good deal, this is a good car. So once I had looked over the car and I was happy enough with it, I'd done all my checks, which I always advise for you guys to do. Make sure you do your due diligence, check for money owing, check over the car, look underneath it for leaks and that sort of thing. Take it for a good test drive, and once you're happy with it, a time came for the negotiation. So I said to him, all right man, I'm keen on this car, I want it, I'll take it. And then he was like, okay, I'm not sure I want to actually sell it. No way, don't do this to me now. I was like, come on man, I have literally just driven up, like I've taken a 3 to 4 hour trip up here to look at this car. You can't change your mind now. Like, I've driven up all this way, I've got the cash here, I'm keen and I want it now. So, no, I wasn't sure before if I wanted to sell it or not, and yeah, I kind of want to keep it now. And then in my head I'm just like, oh my god, no way, like this is such a good deal, I want this car. And okay, alright, I hear what you're saying. No, fair enough. Like, you kind of just have to agree with them, just to let their guard down, so you're not fighting them on it and it doesn't become an argument. That's one pro tip for you, is sometimes it is just easier to agree, to get them to let their guard down, get them to be a bit more comfortable and open up to you. So I said, hey look, nah, I completely understand, you know, this is your pride and joy. I know it's hard to let go of cars, sometimes. Like I have done that in the past. You know, you build an attachment to them. Cars are a massive thing for a lot of people, and it is hard to let go. I completely understand. But hey, I said, look, I've come all this way. You've obviously had the thought to sell it because you wouldn't have listed it otherwise. So in the back of your mind, you do want to let it go, and then you can move on to something else. You can buy something bigger and better. You know, you gotta entice them just to get them to picture in their head their next car or what else they can do with the money. So I actually, in this scenario, I actually had brought cash with me. Now, you want to be careful bringing cash. You want to make sure that it is the type of person you can pull out cash and it is safe to do so. So only do it if you're comfortable going sort of the person that you're dealing with, and this can be a good tactic. I pulled it out the cash. Hey, look, you know, I've got $11,500 right here. Wave it in front of their face, you know, so they can physically see it. Sometimes that is better than an online transfer, actually physically seeing the cash, you know. So I said, look, man, I've got the money here. This could be all yours. All you have to do is say yes. I'll take it off your hands. No inspections. I'm happy with the vehicle. I'll take it off your hands now. No muck around. I'm still not sure. Yeah, I could be keen. All right. How about this? I will give you an extra $300 over asking price. So I think, yeah, he wanted 11.5 on the listing, and just to get the deal done, just because there was so much margin in this deal, I was willing to pay for over asking price. So that's another pro tip in this video, is sometimes when it's just a really good deal, just pay over asking price just to get the deal done. And a couple $100 in the scheme of things was really nothing. So hey, look, man, I've got 11.5 grand here. I will transfer you another $200 or $300 just to get the deal done. How does that sound? That's pretty fair, right? Another good thing is, you know, that's pretty fair, right? You know, that's a good way just to loosen up the conversation, and you're both getting a good deal, and it's neutral for both parties. That sounds fair, right? Yeah. So that's what I did, and I stayed persistent. I didn't take no for an answer in this situation. Whereas, you know, in other car deals, you know, if they say no, you know, that's the end of the conversation. But sometimes with these deals, you got to work a little bit harder. You've got to get them over the line, and sometimes don't take no for an answer. You got to try, be a little bit persistent, not overly too much where, you know, you're pushing them and the conversation gets uncomfortable, but just give it a go. Don't take no for an answer, and it worked. So eventually he said, all right, man, yeah, you came all this way, I'll sell the car to you. I'm like, God, yes, I've got this deal. So I used a few of those tips, pulling out the cash and then offering a little bit extra over asking price, things like that really helped get this deal over the line. So I loaded up the car, I took it home, and I was honestly stoked with this deal, and I kept it for a few months. I flicked it off for a pretty tidy profit, and it was a really cool car. I really enjoyed owning it. I've had quite a few of them, and I got the deal done. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and a bit of a story on how I almost lost this deal, but I used a few of my pro tricks to get it done over the line. So let me know in the comments below, have you guys ever been in this situation before? What sort of tips or tactics have you used to secure a deal? Have you used them and maybe you haven't secured a deal? Have you missed out on something? Have you just secured a really awesome deal? Let me know in the comments below what you guys have to say. Hopefully you might have learned a couple of things from this video as well. So in my videos, I'm always telling stories and giving away some advice and tips and tricks on getting the best car deal and avoiding the mistakes that I have made. So go check this one out now, and we'll see you in that one.